Welcome to ICRTH 2022 Industrial Session on Destination Marketing. I, Ms. Francisca Enchang, and Dr. Wilson are your session chairs for today. First, let me introduce our very first panel speaker, Ms. Mona Abdul Manap. Ms. Mona is the founder and CEO of Place Borneo Sdn Bhd, Malaysia. She holds a master's in business admin, in entrepreneurship, and Bachelor of Commerce in marketing and management. Ms. Mona, over to you.
Thanks for the wonderful introduction. So today my topic for the conference, this is under destination marketing, and I'm going to cover event tourism. And the reason I'm doing that is because our business is, we focus on events. We're a professional conference organizer, and we also focus on music festivals. So you can see in the background, that's the Rainforest World Music Festival that we organized this year. And so we're going to talk about event tourism and how for destination marketing, and at least how I think so and how I feel based on our experience in so many years of organizing this, how it could actually help destination marketing. And based on some of the research and articles that I've been reading, a lot of experts also think so. And in this presentation, I'll focus on Sarawak because that's the best topic that we can all agree on. And that's where our expertise lies. And so what is event tourism? Well, basically event tourism is a tourism product, but it's an event. So it could be different event types. It could be business events like conferences, meetings, congresses, exhibitions. It could be sporting events, recreation events like a run, a marathon. It could be a walk. That's more of a recreation event. It could be a local interest event like a birding event, a bird race. It could be an entertainment event like a music festival, like the Rainforest World Music Festival. Could be a celebration. So celebrations could also overlap with a cultural event. And it could also be about celebrations, which could also overlap with cultural events. So this could be like the Gawai celebration, the Hari Raya celebration, could be Christmas celebration that you have an ongoing sort of event just alongside Christmas. It could be a social enterprise events, it could be promotional event. This is more on like, so for example, a product launch or a launch of a new destination product. It could be a corporate event. And what we didn't put here also, it could be also a personal event like a wedding. So a wedding could actually be an event tourism product, because some weddings are actually held outside of their own country or state or wherever their homes are. For example, like the Indians, they actually love having their weddings in Sabah. And they fly the whole kampong, the whole family members, their friends, their family, they fly them all to Sabah to attend the wedding, but also to explore Sabah. So that's a great event tourism product. And that's a personal event. It's not so much of like an entertainment or anything like that. So these are the different types of event that you could actually bank on for the destination. It depends on what you want your destination to be known for. And it just so happened that I read this in the news, and this is what our premier said, Yang Muhammad Abang Jo said, for Sarawak, we go for prime tourists or selected tourists. And that is why we organize business events and events like Rainforest World Music Festival. And this is exactly the reason why event tourism is fantastic. It's the gem for destination marketing, because people who attend business events or music festivals or special niche events like bird race or bird watching festivals or bird fairs or things like that, it's very niche. These people actually don't really care where the events are held. They actually follow the event around. And for example, for people who attend Rainforest World Music Festival, sometimes we repeat the performers in the festival, and some of them are really popular, or they are like bands that people want to listen to every year, and people don't mind listening to them every year because it's always different. Depending on who is attending with you, depending on the lighting that year, it could be different. It could be raining that year and it's a totally different experience. So events are always different, and people always want that experience because it's always different every single year. And so these are the prime tourists that Abang Jo is talking about. And these are the ones that we want to target because they are high yield. They come, they spend on good hotels, and they explore other products as well, not just the festival or the product or the event that they're attending. I'll go into that a bit more. So why event tourism is, well, in my opinion, the best for destination marketing, and based on my research, these are some of what the experts are also saying. Now, events are a social construct. Meanings are given to events by social groups or the community or the society as a whole. So individuals, so for example, if you and I, we go to the Rainforest World Music Festival, we have our own meanings of how or what the Rainforest World Music Festival means or what it is to us. But the society also make their own interpretations, and the group that we attend with, our friends, make their own interpretations. And because of that, it will also affect what we see the event as or how we see it. So event types or forms, as previously discussed, for example, like the weddings or celebrations, are to a large extent a social construct. So with a collectively assigned and generally recognized meaning to it. So when you say this is a social construct, and especially now after the pandemic, people are a bit sick of meeting virtually all the time. I'm not saying that they're sick of meeting virtually. It is actually quite useful now. We could actually meet with our clients before this who are unable to fly in, for example. But people also now look forward to the in-person interaction. And so events are the best place for us to start our destination marketing post-pandemic, because this is the best place for them to meet people and to enjoy at the same time. The next point is positive destination image. Now, a visitor who builds a positive image of a cultural festival event, for example, also makes a positive evaluation of the destination where those events are held, and is more likely to have future visit intentions. Or at least they will tell people of their visit and tell them that that was a fantastic place that I went to and the festival was amazing. So they will tell people, and this is done by research by Fernandez, Duarte, and Mogolon. And when you talk about cultural festival or cultural events, this is quite specific. It's slightly different from music festival because cultural events are unique. For example, if you went to Thailand and attended a cultural festival, you don't know much about their culture. So it's very hard for you to actually compare what would be a good cultural event, because the cultures, the traditions, the customs, or the things that practice during the event is totally new to you. And so everything is actually fresh for you. And so it is actually a very, very unique experience that will eventually have a positive image in your mind. But if you attended a concert, for example, so if I took the latest example of the Billie Eilish concert, a lot of people complain about that, right? Because they were sitting a bit far away. And so it was given the impression that it wasn't that far, but it was so far they couldn't even see Billie. You know, the reason why they went there, they wanted to see her face, blah, blah, blah. So the reason why they could compare is because a concert is basically a concert. It doesn't matter who is singing or who's presenting on stage. A concert constitutes of the sound effects or the sound and light, the stage size, the distance from the stage. These are things which are basic to concerts. So you could actually compare it. But with a cultural event or a very niche event, you cannot compare with anything else. And so every time you attend it, it is a positive experience for you. And because of that, it reflects positively on the destination. I'm just checking my time here in case I run out of time. And the next point is FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So planned events are spatial temporal phenomenon, and each is unique because of interactions among the setting, the people, the management system, including design elements and the program that you have during the event. So for example, the performers, how are they arranged? Much of the appeal of events is that they are never the same, and you have to be there to enjoy the unique experience. So if you miss it, it's a lost opportunity. And so virtual events, they will have their own different elements, but it also works to about the same. So for example, Rainforest World Music Festival is not the same as saying, oh, I've attended last year, so this year I'm going to give it a miss. It's totally different. If you miss this year, and if your friends start talking about it this year, you can't start talking about the last year's event that you attended because it's totally different. So this fear of missing out, or this peer pressure of wanting to join in conversations, is a great element of destination marketing that you could use. By using this fear of missing out to your events, you actually market Sarawak and say, hey, make sure you don't miss out on conversations about this year's Rainforest World Music Festival, because it's going to be totally different. So if you can't say you attend this year and you're going to miss next year, because next year you don't know what you're going to expect. So this fear of missing out, actually it applies to all events, not just to event tourism or for destination marketing. Any marketing you do for events, this fear of missing out is a very important element, because all events, even if it's a music concert that you could actually compare, is actually very, very different from each other, because the audience or the people that you attended with, the participants, all actually contribute to the experience of the event. It's not just the event organizer dictating what are you going to experience. It's your fellow audience that will also tell you or share with you the experience. And the last one here that I have is combined marketing. So for, again, going back to Rainforest World Music Festival, during that time, all the hotels are talking about Rainforest because they want to sell their hotel rooms. Are you attending Rainforest World Music Festival? Stay at the Hilton, then we have a special rate with the package, with the tickets to Rainforest. So everyone is actually promoting the event, and because of that, they're promoting the destination. So when you have so many different people promoting Sarawak, it's sort of like a third-party endorsement. And when people search you online, so you've got increased visibility, suddenly, you know, a lot about Sarawak is popping up. So when you search music festival, suddenly Sarawak is popping up here and there. It's because a lot of people are talking about you, and because of that, it's great for your destination marketing. And so for a destination, the marketing that's done for an event is also important, but you also have to encourage the industry players to actually participate in your event, so that they actually do marketing for your event and also for the destination. Now, can events be bad for destination marketing? Of course it can. It depends on now the event content. So if you remember, at one point it blew up, the lychee and dog meat festival in Yulin, China. So the event could have been a great, it's a cultural event. Maybe it's something that they've done all these years. Maybe it's executed perfectly. It's all planned out. Marketing is well done. But unfortunately, the content is something that is not socially acceptable. It's against some of the international values that we have, or, you know, just basic moral values. So if the event content is something that goes against the grain for a majority of people in the world, then it reflects badly on the country for allowing the event to happen. Event management. Now, if the event happens, it's a great event, but it's managed poorly. For example, the Fire Festival. If you've seen the documentary on this Fire Festival, it's a huge thing. It was it was actually organized, or it was supposed to be organized by this, they call him the con man. And he intended for the festival to be organized, or maybe not to be organized, but he collected money from people who bought tickets. And so when people arrived, they did have food, but it was really bad, you know, like simple food, not up to the standard that they paid for. The accommodation were flooded, you know, they had mattresses which were wet, soaking wet, and even the event ground was sort of under construction, almost like it wasn't ready. So whether or not he intended to actually organize the event and failed, or he actually intended not to organize the event and cheated people. So the event management part is really important as well. And now if we went back to Rainforest World Music Festival, for example, it is very important to know what kind of social construct idea that you want to build with Rainforest. What kind of experience do you want the audience to feel? And that depends on what audience are going to be attending. And so that goes back to your marketing and your content, because that will reflect back to the destination as well. So for example, Rainforest, before this, it was attended by people who actually enjoyed world music, and who wanted to go into ethnomusicology, for example, because this is ethnic music. But throughout the years, it actually evolved into sort of like a a massive party, I would say. So the younger people went there to drink, to have fun, they partied, they, played in the mud, even if it rained, they, sort of got dirty and all that. And to people who were regulars, who were actually enjoying the music because of world music, they were turned off by this. So now event management, the content part of it is really important, because what do you want people to actually experience? It depends on the audience that you have at your event. And so that depends on your marketing. Who are your target audience? The last one here are the social and environmental impacts. Obviously, a lot of events are too big for the environment here, and you destroy the environment. For example, or actually harm the social or the society that surrounds the location of the event. And here they gave a few examples of the Olympics. So in Athens, in Russia, in the Russian Winter Olympics, 70 people died because they wanted to build the Olympics village. And so you wanted to create this world-class event, and people who attended it enjoyed and had comfort, but the local people who were supposed to benefit from the event actually was at a disadvantage of this, because there were too many people coming in, building it actually endangered their lives, actually killed them. And so these are things, event content, event management, and the impacts it has on the society or the environment. These are things that could be bad for destination marketing if not done well. But the good thing is these are things that are within our control. It means that we could actually plan for them and make sure that it works for the destination. And that's it. Thank you very much. That's my presentation. And for me, I feel that event tourism is one of the core things for destination marketing, just because of the yield that you can get from event tourism, and just for the sheer size of an event. Instead of promoting to groups of people, you are already having a captive audience of people who are attending the event. And so that's why I feel that it is a destination marketing gem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Mona, for your sharing on her topic on event tourism, a destination marketing gem. Next, I would like to introduce our second panel speaker, Dr. Catherine Dumaya Hamel. Right, she is the Chief Executive Officer of Destination Mekong, Cambodia, founder and CEO of Millennium Destinations, and founder and CEO of Heros. Without further ado, please join me to welcome Dr. Catherine with her topic on sustainable destination marketing, creating value, impact, and opportunities for all. Dr. Catherine, please.
Thank you so much, Francesca, for inviting me to this great conference. I really love the topic, and I would like to engage everybody, of course, to follow sustainability principle to make destination attractive. So without further ado, I will start my presentation. So this is a quote from Coco Chanel. You know, she's a French, famous fashion designer. I'm myself French. And she said, you can be gorgeous at 30, charming at 40, and irresistible for the rest of your life. So for me, I would say this is totally relatable to destination marketing, because the same way as people want to be attractive and irresistible, this is the same for destinations. Next one, please. So destination marketing is actually not the mission of destination marketing is not, of course, to make traveler come, but to make the destination more attractive and irresistible. You know, sometimes everybody wants to be irresistible, sorry, but they are at the end of the day resistible. Everybody wants to be popular, but it's very difficult to be popular on the long term. So first, as a destination, you need to build trust. You need to build excitement, and you need to engage people. That's your mission. Then the rest hopefully will follow. Also, I would say the most important for me as a marketing specialist is actually co-creating, capturing and retaining value, because value has a price. So when you capture properly the value, you can make people pay for the price, the fair price. And of course, when we talk about the destination life cycle, marketing is helping to develop this and implement this life cycle. And most important, to prevent the decline of destinations. We have more and more destinations, they are competing between themselves. We have still at the beginning of destination design and development and marketing. So more and more competition needs more creativity to be again more attractive and irresistible. So Coco Chanel didn't say how to be irresistible, but I will try to explain my view on how to make a destination irresistible through sustainability. Next one, please. So many times people talk about, the positive contribution of tourism on destinations and how tourism is good for the economies and for people and for peace. But at the end of the day, we just noticed, and not so long ago, I would say in 2019, just before COVID, how tourism really created issues, social, cultural, environmental issues, and at the end of the day, how tourism activities reduced the value of destination. So the resources were depleted and there were a lot of losses, leakages, meaning that the tourism money spent by the tourists didn't go at the end in the pockets of the local communities. We had over-tourism, and then the locals rejected tourism as well as the tourists, because over-tourism is a phenomenon. It's negative. I wouldn't say mass tourism is negative or positive, but over-tourism is a negative perception by the locals, by the host, and by the guests, the visitors. So we also saw more and more, and it's not the end, negative influencers, trying to promote popular destinations without caring about them, and misleading claims about being green. This is called greenwashing. Next one, please. And through COVID-19, we had even more losses. It's not only losses in jobs, businesses, lives, of course, revenues. It's also the loss of talents, knowledge, skills. Many students decided to follow another career, or many even tourism professionals decided to work in other industry. Will they come back? We are not sure, because for them, this is not attractive at all anymore. And for the travelers also, the destination lost their appeal, the traveler lost their purpose, their inspiration, the connection were lost. Next one, please. So how can we create value through sustainable tourism development and marketing? The main idea is definitely creating value, because if people don't have the perception of the value of a destination, why would they travel there? So first, the sustainable principle, it's maximizing the positive impact of the tourism activities on the people and the planet. But for me, people and planet is a little too vague. It's maximizing the positive impact on the local communities and contributing to the social and economic development of the destinations and their environment, because basically tourists are using the environment of the residents. Also, it's about, of course, minimizing the negative impact of tourism activities. And believe me, it's not obvious, because tourism is consuming resources. Tourism can be about exploitation. Tourism can be, using the resources of the residents and leaving nothing, like the crickets. So first, I would say it is very important also to have a dedicated structure for management and governance, because tourism is not only about environmental, social, cultural, economic dimensions, it's also about management and organization and governance, meaning delivering on what you promise, because this is also related to tourism branding, the promise that you make to people that they're going to have valuable and reliable experiences. Of course, involving everybody, respecting the carrying capacity of the places, which is in many ways very difficult if you don't measure and monitor the tourism flows, or if you focus only on the number of people and the money they spend. This is not enough. And of course, there is a strong need for awareness raising, even more than education, capacity building, training, mentoring, and empowerment of people. So these all can be translated into branding and positioning strategies and activities that I will not detail because there is not much time. But very important is to make destinations desirable, sustainability desirable, and sustainability also irresistible. Because right now it's an option. You can resist to sustainability because many people think it's creating losses in pleasure, enjoyment, or losses even in money. It's a cost. No, that's the contrary. Next slide. So here, it's an example of activities that you can promote through marketing activities and on sustainable tourism development activities, focusing on the main activities of, for example, the tourism experience, transportation, accommodation, food and beverage, visits, on the attractions. So all this is suggesting that you can actually have this approach of protecting the resources and also creating exciting, authentic, off the beaten track experiences. Why is it important? Because this is what the market wants now. The market no longer wants, this kind of unsustainable tourism activities. They want to contribute. They want to make sure they have a positive impact. Most of the time, they don't know how to do this. Most of the time, they tend to forget, once they are at the destination, that they should be more responsible and careful. But it is a co-creation. This is not only the travelers or not only the host. Everybody needs to contribute, to this co-creation. Next slide, please. So now we talk about Destination Mekong because Destination Mekong is actually a destination management and marketing organization. So our main job is to contribute to the attractiveness and sustainability of the destination. So what is this destination? Is the Greater Mekong sub-region, which is comprising of 6 countries that are, around the Mekong River. So Destination Mekong was created in 2017 as private sector counterpart of the Mekong Tourism Coordinating Office, which is the public sector. It is a company fully registered in Singapore, and now we are in the process of registering this in Cambodia. So our main purpose, which is very important, our purpose statement, is to champion the Mekong region as an attractive, sustainable destination, creating value, impact, and opportunities for all. We have this strong, inclusive, nice mission. Next one, please. So as I explained, we are promoting a framework, public-private partnership framework with the Mekong Tourism Coordinating Office. We connect people, we connect the travelers with the markets, the destinations. We connect the public sector with the private sector. We connect the tourism stakeholders between themselves. And we connect, experiences and destinations with people who care. So again, what is important? Value-added programs and solutions. For this, we use sustainability and also innovation. Next one, please. So since 2017, Destination Mekong has created a lot of strategies, to increase the value of destinations and experiences, to increase their exposure, and to make the destinations, either the countries or the regions or a village, attractive and sustainable, and in the end, irresistible. Next one, please. So we have 3 pillars, to promote resilient and inclusive tourism destination in the sector, building a community, strengthening this community, exposing the brand. So it's not only the brand of the companies, it's also the destination brands. And of course, generate revenue because it's about also providing job and income opportunities for the local. And we are very strict and serious about that because it's not only marketing, it's creating value and sharing this value with all. So you see, we are using content, we engage people, and we connect them. Next one, please. These are the value added events also that we are creating to connect this destination and the travelers and the travel stakeholders and the public and private stakeholders. So we have the Destination Mekong Summit. We hope to have it offline this year in Cambodia by the end of this year. And we will also promote, the Mekong World Tourism Day Forum next month in September. Right? So this is our team. We have a chief executive officer, chief marketing officer, chief development officer, and we have special advisor, especially one to promote Japan Mekong cooperation, one for Korea Mekong cooperation. We promote social enterprises, training and strategy, of course, overall strategy. Next one, please. We are also very active in promoting tourism recovery in the Greater Mekong sub-region. First, the restart of tourism, the reform of the tourism sector, and rebalance of tourism. Because tourism cannot come back as usual. We need to be smarter. We need to be more sustainable, to be more irresistible. Again, this is what the market wants and needs. This is what our planet needs. Next one. So this is our strategy. We're going to have an integrated tourism restart campaign, sharing memories, secrets, deals. Why? Because the markets want unique, out-of-the-beaten track experiences, and storytelling can be a very powerful tool to engage both the demand and the supply. We need to promote those successful stories and valuable stories. People want something that is really sincere, no longer, pretending that we are green or pretending that we are welcoming, because at the end of the day, it was not the case. Next slide, please. So we have this upcoming project, and especially the Mekong Stories book, to share stories, personal stories of people living in the Mekong region and making their job to welcome tourists and make them happy. We have also the Mekong Tourism Recovery Solutions, and we are building this Mekong Discovery Centers as an offline and online network of visitor centers, visitor hubs that are eco-friendly, smart, and connect the local communities with travelers who care. So you can, scan the QR code. So we'll finish, this presentation by some recommendation for responsible destination marketing. This is not rocket science, but if you remember the first slide about being irresistible, this is how destinations can become irresistible. But, the process is exactly the same as for any destination marketing strategy. You need to know your market. But you need to focus on people who care, not on everybody. You need to think about the value you can create, how you can share this value, and how, of course, you can capture this value. Because many times people don't want to pay, simply because they don't see the value. And this is also part of the branding of the Mekong region. Sometimes people think it's cheap destination. So we need to increase the value of the destination. But I would say it's not only the Mekong region. Next one, please. And last one. So finally, I think it's also about monitoring and measure, of course, the indicator of sustainability, performance, and engagement. Link people, disseminate good practices, educate people. So I would say mostly not the providers, I would say that the tourists themselves. Of course, they don't want to be educated because they think it's not fun. So we need to promote, edutainment strategies to make learning a fun activities. And of course, don't fool people. We are in 21st century. We no longer do that. And also be accountable and reliable through efficient recognition and certifications. So at the end of the day, you can be irresistible or you can become irresistible, but don't try to be too popular at all costs. And this is a lesson to learn also from the social media influencers. Popularity has a big price to pay. So I would say, just be attractive and sincerely engaging. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So let's start the third section. So my name is Wilson. Okay, so I'm come from Hong Kong Polytechnic University, CPC, where I'm a lecturer. So I would like to introduce the first speaker. So please join me to welcome Dr. Bandela. Let me introduce a bit about her. So Dr. Bandela is Associate Professor of UP Asian Institute of Tourism since 2009. She has a BS Tourism degree, Master of Science in Communication Research, and Doctor of Philosophy in Communications from the University of the Philippines, Denmark. Her presentation's titles is Destination Branding and Stakeholder Engagements. So let's pass the time to Dr. Bandera. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wilson. So I'm here to talk about destination branding and stakeholder engagement, and as it is exercised or practiced in the Philippine setting. So we've heard from our colleagues from Mekong region, and it's really nice to be able to speak in a forum like this and learn from the best practices of other destinations as well. So let me share with you the Philippine experience as far as destination branding. And since we really do not have as much budget as our ASEAN counterparts, we really look into stakeholder engagement as the key to destination branding. And if we look at destination branding as a key component of destination marketing, in the same way as events, integrated marketing communications, and all these things are put together, what envelopes the entire concept of destination marketing is the fact that our brands need to stand out, and destination branding is an integral part of destination marketing, as there are so many brands out there. Countries, destinations have started being competitive, so our brand has to stand out. So allow me to just introduce myself briefly. These are some of the books I've written, the agencies I've worked for, and some of the local government units that I've engaged in as far as destination marketing and branding is concerned. So to an academician like me, I always want to start off with the theory part and then maximize it to include the um, the action items that that the government, the Philippine government, actually has. Because to me, I think collaboration really happens when all the stakeholders engage in destination branding, and it's not just an agency, an advertising agency that does destination branding, but it is an holistic approach. And to Morrison in 2019, he mentions that destination branding may not yet be an exact science, but it has gained significant attention in the past 15 to 20 years. Prior to these years, we see that there's not much talk about branding destinations. There's branding consumer items, but branding destinations have recently gained traction, especially since tourism has really opened up and different destinations are now maximizing the economic gains of tourism as an industry. So when we look at destination brands, to me, simply destination brands create differentiation. The previous speaker, Catherine, mentioned about branding and positioning as important tools to destination marketing. And I think it is really that destination brands are there to create differentiation. What are the different stories that you tell about your destination? And it's a promise to the tourist. We shouldn't be over promising as to what the destination can offer, but really have the exact, excuse me, the exact promise, the reality, the authenticity of your destination that you promise to the tourist. It's also an expectation of a set of experiences. So when we look at destination brands, it gives us an expectation, just as the same manner that it is a promise to the tourist. The destination offers a set of expectations that the country is supposed to offer, or the destination is supposed to offer its potential tourists. It is also a mark of integrity and reputation. So when we talk about Malaysia, truly Asia, or amazing Thailand, we would really see that they're protecting that reputation of being amazing, and of showing, for Malaysia's part, of showing what is truly Asian, the culture as displayed in its tourist attractions. So if we have this in our key points in branding, we would know that our destinations can stand out by the use of destination brands. So when we look at collaboration as far as destination marketing and branding is concerned, we look at the significant roles that is played by different stakeholders in the planning, development, management, and marketing of tourism businesses and destinations. We cannot take marketing separately from tourism planning and development. It always goes hand in hand. We cannot promote something that has not been developed. We cannot promote attractions that still have missing parts. We cannot promote attractions if there is no accessibility. If there are no airports near, there are no roads leading to the attractions. That's why collaboration is also an integral part in destination marketing and branding. When we look at stakeholder collaboration, we want to apply this in a sense that these are voluntary arrangements between tourism organizations that involve both marketing and promoting the destination in a collective way. You may have popular brands in your destination, but they have to collaborate with attractions, with all the different destination organizations that you have that are tourism related. So there has to be synergy so that collaboration can happen and the destination can be promoted with the brand being fulfilled, the promise of the brand being fulfilled. So when we look at stakeholder engagement as far as destination marketing is concerned, we look at the experience of the Philippines when we have destination marketing organizations closely working with the different tourism sectoral organizations that are private, as well as the tourism businesses. We are composed of a lot of small, micro, and medium-sized enterprises that engage in tourism. And of course, the local community. Without the local community support, we cannot have a destination brand, so to speak. As well as academe. The academe also plays a crucial role. We have very strong participation of our tourism and hospitality schools, where the academe engages in research, engages in manpower development, in the training component of our destination marketing. So to give you just a short story of how the destination marketing and branding has been done in the Philippines, we have launched It's More Fun in the Philippines. I hope this has gained traction in the international arena, where this was launched in 2012. And this branding strategy was awarded as third of 100 smartest marketing campaigns in the world. So let me tell you a little about our story. So you've seen a lot of our photos, More Fun in the Philippines. You see double-deckers. There are so many that has been used in social media, and these are all crowdsourced. And we know for a fact that in social media, it's no longer content is king. It's engagement is king. So when your users or when your local community engages people in social media, you get a powerhouse branding strategy with little cost. We don't have as much tourism budget as our other countries, but we've made so well as far as this marketing strategy is concerned. So we did crowdsourcing, and there was what you call a meme generator, where you can put up all these slogans using More Fun in the Philippines and Use Your Own Photos, My Humps representing the chocolate hills of Bohol, and then Getting Upstairs, where it's more fun in the Philippines when you go to the Banawe rice terraces. And underwater, you can find Nemo in the different dive sites that we have in the Philippines. So these are just a few of the examples of how we have generated UGCs, user generated content, from different people, tourists, and the locals alike. So we have what um, you have moving forward from that initial campaign. We now moved into using a specialized font called Bara Bara, and where you can upload your photos and use them as letters for epic, paradise, love, yes, inspiring. You can use your own photos, and these are generated through a website where you have a meme generator and you can share your experiences of fun. So with the hashtag It's More Fun in the Philippines, I think it has gained a lot of mileage for the Philippines, and it has been our road to success. So just to show you some issues that we have in our branding strategies, for the period that this branding slogan was launched, you could see an increase in tourist arrivals. One is 2010, and you'd see 2020 as number 11. So you've seen a rise in up to 2019. We experienced 11%, 8%, 15% growth. So probably averaging about 11, 12% compounded annual growth rate per year as far as our foreign tourist arrivals are concerned. It just took a dip. All of us took a dip in 2020 when borders were closed due to the pandemic. So gauging from just tourist arrivals, we would see that there's an increase, which was also which we can correlate to tourism, to the tourism brand. But of course, there's still a lot of other indicators for growth in tourism arrivals aside from just the brand. So we can, in some studies that were made in 2020 and 2021, we could see that the destination brand slogan may not be the only determinant for tourism performance. We could also account accessibility, the increased access to the different destinations that would enable people to have shorter travel periods, travel time getting to the destinations. So for instance, in the Philippines, we've seen the growth of roads, bridges, and airports that would cut down the travel time of our foreign tourists. We can also not allow destination branding to be isolated from the larger social, political, environmental, and economic realities in the national and global settings. For instance, the COVID-19 pandemic has really caused a dip. No matter how good your branding is, if there's a lockdown, then probably all of us will take a dip as far as tourist arrivals are concerned. A few years back, we had several other health pandemics. Well, it's not as global as COVID, but we've also had SARS and Ebola. So we can also look into the financial crisis, the Asian financial crisis, that can also cause a dip in tourist performance. We've also seen how social media has become a game changer, and that user-generated content, when used wisely, is such a dynamite. It allows destinations with very little tourism budget to still make a presence in cyberspace. We also see that there is an importance of establishing a systematic assessment system for measuring effectiveness of destination brands. This was in a study by one of my colleagues, Cruz, in 2022, just this year, when he mentioned that in the Philippines, we still have yet to have a research-based framework and empirical data to really assess whether our destination marketing strategies and action plans have really had a great effect on tourism performance. So that's something that we recommend not just to the Philippines, but probably in all destination branding endeavors, that there is an evaluation that happens at the end, or if there's a chance to evaluate, especially here in the Philippines, destination branding has always been associated with whoever is president. So it's more fun in the Philippines has worked for two administrations, but we currently have a new president, and there are talks about the It's More Fun in the Philippines being changed. And so we still push, as an academician, I push that research-based frameworks and empirical data be used to assess whether there is really a need to change or just to refresh the current brand. So that's it. Thank you very much. And please feel free to visit us here in the Philippines.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Benera. Thank you for your presentations. So the section recording will be make available at this URL. So please feel free to click it, and then you can watch it when you have time. And then second, we will have the e-certificate for all of the attendance, and then it will be issued to delegates who complete a post-conference survey. So please find this survey at this link, and the survey will be posted after 1 week. And for more information about this conference and other conference sections, please visit www.responsible.com/ICRTH 2022 program. And then number 4, for any inquiries about this conference, so please feel free to contact us through the below emails. Okay, so thank you very much.